Hi, it's Dr. George Smolinski, and welcome back to Hire a Virtual Assistant and Liberate Your Life. Hopefully, you're super excited about hiring a virtual assistant from listening to the first lesson. And again, I am so excited for you because now we're going to move into the meat and potatoes of exactly what you need to do to hire not just any virtual assistant, but a great one that's going to liberate your life. So, lesson 2 is, what can a virtual assistant do for you? Hint? Well, the answer is almost anything. In this lesson, we're going to discuss the tasks that can be outsourced to a VA, both in your business and your personal life. I'll give you a list of 19 things right off the top of my head that I've outsourced to VAs, and then we'll conclude with how to allow your VA to access sensitive personal information to accomplish online tasks without giving up your security and your privacy. The first thing I'd like to talk about is everyday business tasks that can be outsourced to your VA. I've listed a few here, but let's really dig in and think about things that can be outsourced. What can a VA be used for? Obviously, any task that you have that can be done online can be done by a VA. Make a PowerPoint presentation? Sure. Transcribe a podcast? Absolutely. Take an audio file and make some PowerPoint slides and make a YouTube video? Definitely. I've had these tasks completed for me using VAs with fantastic results. Here's the bottom line that you absolutely have to remember. Your time is valuable, so outsourcing anything you can will be tremendously valuable. It's safe to say that really anything that can be accomplished online, which obviously is an enormous number of tasks and activities nowadays, can be accomplished by a VA. Please don't be afraid of outsourcing anything to a VA, especially once you've built that trusting relationship with your virtual assistant. Obviously, don't outsource things that involve personal information like credit card numbers and those sorts of things if you're not comfortable in doing that. But as I discuss further on, there are even workarounds for overcoming that personal information obstacle as well. In a few minutes, I'll give you a complete list of tasks that I've outsourced to my VAs to get you started. But for the time being, I want you to stop and think about 2 to 3 things in your business or your personal life that are repetitive, thankless tasks that you could outsource. Once you've thought these down, I want you posted up in the discussion section so that all of us can benefit. Maybe there's something that you do that someone else is going to take a look at and say, oh yeah, that's definitely something I could outsource. Let's stoke the conversation about this and get a great list of even more things than I've listed of things that can be outsourced. So remember, a virtual assistant is not just someone that can accomplish business tasks for you. Personal tasks can be outsourced to a virtual assistant as well, and, well, there's more than you'd think. Don't forget about outsourcing these personal tasks. My personal VA, Angeline, does both personal and professional tasks for me, and she accomplishes both of them great. This is where you can really liberate your life, by utilizing a virtual assistant as your personal assistant. For instance, I've had my VA, Angeline, do a ton of travel planning for me, and one of the most useful ways I've found to utilize my VA is to have her help me with travel research. I've never been a fan of travel agents, so from the start, I figured I'd let Angeline try her hand at it. She's been great, but for a business trip that I took recently, I somehow turned my brain off and booked my travel myself instead of letting Angeline do it for me. After hours of time on travel websites, I had everything planned out. Now, after I had everything booked, my wife promptly told me that I would not be doing that again and that my VA should be doing it for me. So thanks, honey. She was absolutely right. By using Angeline, that would have saved me dozens of hours with all the business trips that I've taken. And, well, my lesson's been learned. Short of planning a whole trip, even simpler tasks can be accomplished by a VA. A VA can find the best restaurants in a city that you're visiting. Angeline is great at this. If we're going on a trip somewhere, I have her find the top restaurants using online review sites like TripAdvisor, sort the restaurants, and then give me the top 3 with walking distance and driving directions to each via Google Maps. I'll pick the one that I want to go to, and she'll make the reservation. Simple as that. Another great thing is getting top hotel recommendations for a given area. A VA can find out if there's discounts or deals on attractions in a given area during the time that you'll be visiting, and even more. Now, look, the last thing though, my wife would kill me if she knew that I put this in here. Outsourcing your anniversaries with cards and flowers, that may not be such a great idea. But I just want you to get started thinking about it. One other thing on there is searching for and purchasing items online, like being a personal shopper. Think about the rich and the elite. Why do they have personal shoppers? They have them so that they can spend their time doing things that they really enjoy. Who likes going to Target to buy a new shoe rack? Have your VA do it for you instead. No one likes to do those sorts of things. They'd rather be doing their time spending their time on things that they enjoy. So again, that is a great thing to outsource. So here's a list of 19 things that I hate to do or that I'm terrible at doing that I routinely outsource. Now, I'm not going to read all these through to you. You're all adults, maybe some kids out there, and you can all read these yourself. I'll highlight a couple, though. Like I talked about before, the finding and purchasing things online. I recently had a taillight burn out in my Prius, so I emailed Angeline and said, find and purchase a new taillight for my Prius. Now, she did it, no problem. That probably would have taken me about 20 or 30 minutes to try to find a place that would ship to me and find the best price and yada, yada, yada. She did it for me. It was awesome. Here's another list of the 19 things that I routinely outsource. And here it concludes the last of those 19 things. Here's an important one: listening to webinars and drafting executive summaries for you. I mean, webinars and podcasts are great, don't get me wrong, but who has time to listen to all that material? Instead, do what I do. I have one of my VAs, Doa, in Egypt, listen to podcasts or listen to webinars, and then she'll draft an executive summary for me. There you go. She distills down half an hour worth of information down into the 3 or 4 important points that I need to know. The last thing, though, that we have listed is using this leverage technique. Use your VA to find other VAs to do things for you. That's what I've done with Angeline, and it works great. That way I'm not searching on Odesk for other VAs. She's doing it for me instead. Remember, though, that this is just the start of a list of tasks that can be routinely outsourced to a VA. I encourage all of you to look at your life through the lens of, can someone else, that is your VA, do this for me? Once you start to look at your life through that lens, you're going to see a ton of things that can be done by someone else. You're going to see a ton of things that you don't need to be doing, and this means that you have started your journey to life liberation. The last thing I want to cover, though, is how to allow your VA access to secure sites without giving them your personal login and password information. This is a real concern, especially in today's climate. Identity theft is all around us, and we need a secure way to share information with our VAs. I use LastPass. LastPass is a completely free tool where you can share logon and password information with your virtual assistant. Now, they don't see the login and password information. They just see a little asterisk, just like you can see right there on the LastPass logo, appear in the login and the password box anywhere where you're going to log in online. They click on that. The login and password information is auto-populated right into those 2 boxes, and then they can log in without ever seeing your login and password information. LastPass uses the most advanced security techniques to keep your information private, and I myself have used them for over a year with absolute security. I've had no problems whatsoever with them. I used to just keep a list of passwords on one of my Evernote notes, and that was definitely not the right thing to do. That was extremely unsecure. Fortunately, I found LastPass to help keep my passwords secure, and it works fantastic with virtual assistants. One final thing. How do you figure out what to outsource if you've never outsourced before? Obviously, this is a new thing for a lot of you, so here's how to figure out how to outsource things in your life. Again, it's very important for you to take a look at your life through that lens of, can someone else be doing this for me? And once you do, once you see all the things in your life that can be accomplished by someone else, it's going to be extremely liberating for you. It's going to be like a new dawn for your life. It is just fantastic. And I'm so excited for you because that is coming. The best thing to do, though, to kind of jumpstart this process is to do it old-fashioned. Take an old-fashioned pen and notebook and take it around with you for 3 days. Every possible opportunity that you have, I want you to write down the task that you're doing and whether or not this is something that can be done online. For those things that are done online, then you need to also decide whether this is something that needs your absolute personal attention or whether this is something that really could be accomplished by someone else. Once you start thinking in this way and physically writing it down, you'll think of more and more and more things to outsource. Again, I encourage you and everyone that is listening to this video to post up these different things that they outsource and these different ideas for outsourcing in the comments and discussion section of this video. Working together, we can make a comprehensive list of things that people are outsourcing around the world, and this is going to be great for everyone who's taking this lesson. That concludes this lesson, and I look forward to seeing you in lesson 3.